Okay, hello everyone and no one, and welcome to another Rotten's Guns. This is hopefully going to be a shorter video because I still got to go to work, but I thought I would do an update on the Lone Wolf Timberwolf frames. This is the compact grip with the full-size length rail. Ever since I got the proper trigger housing for it and aren't using one that I modified basically. So to go through it, we're going to start with 15 rounds on just the regular 17 side slide. Should work. All my dry firing's been fine. Haven't had any issues or hiccups. This is probably one of the dumbest sights that I've ever bought, the Meprolite one. But we'll go out here and give her a shot. Maybe try some things that I was seeing on one of the things. This ought to be all good. Try that one thing they were talking about. I don't know. Oh God, I can't remember the YouTube channel now. So for anyone curious of why I just went to 1 foot, I was watching a video about doing movements and everything for like IDPA or whatnot, and when you actually go to, shoot and move, all your recoil management's in your core and back and upper body, less on your legs. So getting down into a super aggressive recoil stopping stance isn't going to do anything if you're trying to shoot and move. Well, all right, so now because I recently won a Gen 3 G22 slide, so I got 2 mags of that for it. So this is probably one of the most almost ridiculous G22 slides you can make, since I have that threaded barrel and put that muzzle device on for absolutely no reason. So we're going to see how well this one goes. Go about here. I can't even tell where I'm. Well, it functions, but I have no idea where I'm hitting. Looks like I'm hitting super low. Had a failure to feed. That's a little odd considering, I believe this one, this one was all the newer ammo. Go ahead and grab the 22 rounder as well. Move a little closer, see if I'm. Ooh, that device is coming off some. Okay. All right, another failure to feed. But while that failure's on there, I'm going to take this. Ooh, that is warm. That is warm. So I probably need to go and, well, that one works. I might need to buff out this feed dampen chamber on this one. I mean, muzzle device definitely did reduce the recoil. We're not going to throw it back on. All right, so we're going to grab, I think I only got 21 in this one, but the 40 Smith & Wesson 22 round mags because they're fun. This is a mixture of the lax remanufactured and a mixture of new that I can't remember the brand. Yep, failure to feed. Yeah, this one is... I have no idea where this thing's shooting. Now, it looks like I am shooting super low. Yep. Okay. I'll probably look at changing the sights on this. Give me that. And the moment that some people were waiting for, since I was having issues with it before, we are now going to use Zafre or something. My G34 slide. This is the Dalbin Owl optic I just recently picked up. I have no idea if this thing's going to be on target because I only did a bore sight in my apartment. So, who knows? But everything's been going good for this one. I thought I took my keys off. Got a failure to fully eject. Another failure to eject, stovepipe. Failure to feed. I mean, granted, I am using a Magpul mag, but the failure to feed and definitely the failure to eject was on that. Now, it could be me potentially limp wristing it. And that, we know that we were high. Okay, yep, failure to feed. Well, that's a no good. My optic died on me. That's not good. Like, I can kind of see it. Oh, would you... Again, with the failure to feed. Okay, that was weird. So, might be the site. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like, at least with this slide so far, I might need to do some work. The G34 slide is not the best for these, but it might just be I need to do a couple things to it in that. Okay. Might be the battery that came with this thing is just too dead, so I'm going to have to find that out because now it's wanting to shine properly. But otherwise, I'm definitely digging the frame. It's a bit freaking hot out here, so I'm sweating, but it didn't really lose the texture other than really up here to where there isn't as much. But I will have to say, since I have the proper trigger housings in these, I'm liking them a lot more. The compact, the Glock 19 size will probably become just one of my ones for the optic running, and I'll have to look into like another G17 slide because, well, this one ran properly on a full-size slide. I don't know, it's being weird. I'll probably take it home and buff it out. So, thanks for watching. Okay, so I'm back home and decided to add a little extra onto this. So, for the Timberwolf full-size frame or rail compact grip, obviously, you know, throwing these on the full-size ones, the Palmerady G17 slide worked absolutely no issues, which was kind of funny because I've had issues with the slide before. Well, technically it was actually the frame, not the slide. But ever since I fixed that one, it hasn't had an issue. Had some feeding issues with the 40 Smith & Wesson barrel, and it was shooting extremely high. I'm actually going to end up pulling this side off. I still have my old, from my G40, the adjustable rear sight for it, so I'm going to put that actually on here, leave the front sight and go from there with it, since it's mostly going to be a fun gun. I was disappointed with the feeding issues I had with the G34 barrel. I think the stovepipe thing that I was getting for like 4 rounds was me, but I could be wrong. I was also a little disappointed with how the red dot went out for a bit. I mean, it is a new red dot, but it's also an expensive red dot. But I'm going to go through and with both of this barrel and this barrel and buff out the feed ramp and buff out the chamber quite a bit to hopefully increase reliability. I know I think this is like Zafree Precision or something. Some people have had issues with these. So far I haven't. I know with the full grip and everything, I've never had a feeding issue. But then again, I think I only did it on this frame. So it's kind of new, like I said, of just the issues I had. Otherwise, honestly, I didn't have any issues with the trigger, how it was. I'm definitely digging the Serpico trigger. So it did better than I expected, or I should say, well, actually it didn't do better than I expected. I was hoping for flawless functioning with all of them, but unfortunately, these 2 slides gave me the most amount of issues, and that's the weirdest thing, is because when you look at them, so you gotta throw a mag in there, like, why I was getting it going so far up was super weird to me and just kind of irritating. So, like I said, I've had to do that before on a Glock barrel. Weirdest one was I actually doing it on a 34 barrel before, and it was on a Gen 5 Glock from my dad. He was having a bit of feeding issues. Sometimes you get that. I mean, running a freaking buffing wheel on a Dremel on a barrel and chamber isn't something that's too bad. It's not like you're going through and having to change out springs and changing out all of your internals. Yeah, this was originally supposed to go to my dad. It was a American flag back plate, but since his was a Gen 5, it didn't work on there. So instead of returning it, I was like, you know what? I'll throw it on a gun just for fun that'll probably never be used for anything other than either competition, eventually, hopefully, or a range toy. But just wanted to go through and explain that of what I'm probably going to do is take both this slide, or this barrel, and this barrel, and end up buffing them out the next couple days. And here in a while, I'll go through and do that, and hopefully I'll be able to keep this on here and get it to function, because honestly, the full-size frame with the compact grip and the 34 slide, I think just looks freaking super slick. Because that's going to be like when the Glock store finally gets the G26L, because I know they... Whoop, I did that wrong. When they finally get the G26L, since they just are on pre-orders now for the G26X, someone's going to put like the 47 slide on there, because why not? Like the 47 or 49. But yeah, hopefully the next time I actually take it out, after doing the buffing on it, I was like, oh yeah, I might as well pull these off, since I got a little bit of work to do to them. But they should be doing better next time. Hopefully it's that whole thing of we shall see. So still got to start the review on this. Got to finish the Vector Frenzy, because I actually got a different optic plate to put on there. I want to try that Gideon that I had on here on it. I think it would do better for that. So appreciate you all for watching. Have yourself a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Bye.